Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and I just wanted to point out that when you're out and about in kind of wildernessy areas, kind of areas where people can go out and do things without being noticed, like shoot guns or, have a large bonfire and be drunk and all that type of stuff, or, dump trash, you can find a lot of really good stuff out here. So think of a situation maybe where there aren't any stores running, right? We don't have electricity or anything like that. And society is sort of still running, smaller than before, but there's people who still know how to do things and can make things work that, people threw this away because maybe something small happened to it and they had no idea how to fix it. And they could have probably figured it out or paid someone to figure it out, but instead they just dumped it, right? So let's take a look at what this thing's got available to us. Okay, so this is a little electric air compressor, right? So a hose would hook up right here and you would fill up your tire on your car or whatever. Maybe you'd have like a nail gun that you were running off of this thing. All right, so we got two basically pressure valves, right? So if you know how to use that, you could take those apart and attach them to some sort of thing where you need that type of thing. We've got a pressure release valve right here, same sort of thing. I don't know what this is, let's see. So it doesn't look like it screws all the way off, so it seems like it's probably air passes through a certain amount depending on how much you unscrew it. It's my guess there. We have a little switch. You think, oh, that's not anything. Well, this is actually a pretty valuable thing. Like if we have a circuit that we're building for something, anything, right? This is something we can use to attach to whatever we're building to give us the ability to turn it on and off. Someone already pulled open this thing, so all right. So I'm not totally sure how this all works, but there's definitely spinning parts. And there's going to be, I assume that this is the motor, right? So this is a big electric motor. You could use that for so many things, and I assume it's copper wound, and so just the copper by itself would be super valuable. We've got all this piping, which we could use for various things. We could probably get this thing working again, honestly. And then right next to that thing, we have a table saw, right? So same kind of stuff. We got a switch there, might be useful for something. We got a table, right? We got a table that we can use. Again, we might be able to fix this thing. Look at, we got a nice little saw replacement. If we have another table saw. Again, we have a really nice motor. You can see the copper in there. So anyways, if this were the time of, when things are not going as well as maybe they're going right now, where scavenging becomes a viable career option, this would be a super big score, right? This is a lot of valuable stuff. So anyways, just keep that in mind for the apocalypse. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider sharing it. If you'd like to help me out in a more substantial way, you can learn how to do so at cahlen.org/gift. And if you'd like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, whether publicly or privately, you can learn how to do so at cahlen.org/one-on-one. Thanks again for watching.